Hi, this is Ryan Nager with the Ryan Nager Group, and today we're going to talk about 3 reasons why Phoenix is not in a housing bubble right now, but do we have one looming out there in the future? So watch this video to find out more. Okay, so we know the headlines, well, at least real estate related, have been along the lines of home pricings, reaching new peaks. And while that might feel eerily reminiscent of the news in 2005 and 2006, today I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I think that this time is different. Okay, so for the first reason why I think that this time is different than in 2005, 2006 has to do with rental home prices. We talk a lot about home price appreciation, but we don't talk a lot about what rental prices are doing. And get this, so between 2000 and 2005, rental rates did not rise at all. In fact, they actually went down on a per square footage basis. So as these home prices were rapidly rising, rental prices for the exact same home was actually going down and down. I mean, it comes down to this, that like when home prices are going up rapidly, but rents are going down, this is a strong signal of a real estate bubble. So renters today are facing, even more stiff competition for homes than their counterparts buyers. Okay, so this brings me to my next point. Who are our buyers out there today? I think, we can all remember, if we've seen that movie, The Big Short, they were interviewing a lot of different people that owned multiple homes, people that, you wouldn't believe that their income could provide 4 to 5 homes. But that was the reality of the situation back then. Just basic individuals were purchasing homes, on a speculative basis because they wanted to make more money off of those homes in months' times. And the reality was like anyone could buy a home. They can make up how much money they earned and again, purchase multiple homes, for little to no money down. So it created, this really interesting time where a lot of people were just getting into real estate because they could. Today, that couldn't be more different. The buyers of today, they're buying these homes to live in, with money out of their own pocket, solid credit scores, and for the most part, the desirability to just live there for the long term. And for the investors that are in our market, they're purchasing homes, with all cash, or at least 25 to 30% down. So just a lot of real money has poured into real estate, as Wall Street managers and wealthy individuals see little upside in the stock market, as that's kind of at its peak as well. Okay, so this brings me to my last and final point. It's basically comes down to our foreclosure and lending practices today. So part of the reason the real estate market collapsed as hard as it did in the mid 2000s was not only in large part to the fraud, some of these loans being made, but also in the inability to handle the wave of homes that no one wanted or could, no longer afford. And so there's a lot of talk about this, something similar happening when the pandemic set in, and the thought of millions of people not being able to make their monthly payments, just made us feel like, oh my God, the bubble is about to burst again. Again, something different, I think that, lawmakers, banks and like everyone in between, were willing to do anything that they could to avoid another foreclosure crisis. And they took appropriate steps to help borrowers that were affected by, COVID-19. You got to remember, like banks are not in the business of selling real estate. They want to lend money, not take over a home, fix it up and absorb some of the costs, in doing so. So when the pandemic set in, we issued all these options for borrowers struggling with their mortgage payments, such as like halting foreclosures, offering forbearance, and deferment programs. So kind of hit you with a few like little stats right now. We have more than 2 million people that are homeowners nationwide that are seriously delinquent but not in foreclosure. And paying off your loan actually rose 3% in September, which is like the first time in 16 years. So people are paying off more of their homes than ever before. We're also looking at average equity in a home now stands at $125,000, which is up $3,200, from last year. So a lot of people have serious equity in their homes, which gives them the option, if something were to come up, that they can either sell their home or, talk to a lender and work out a payment situation. All right, so what does all this mean? And I teased you, do we have a foreclosure, or housing bubble looming in the future? While I'm not a fortune teller, I do think we have enough data and reasoning behind us to know that it certainly doesn't feel like this market is going to be changing, anytime soon. And here's the crazy part when we're talking about bubbles is that the fact that we're still having this conversation about a housing bubble, plays into the challenge of one forming. So a bubble is created when everyone is euphoric about an item and believe that there's no way for it to lose value. Think of the Beanie Babies or the dot-com stock, bubble in 2000. So we just need to stay in that cautiously optimistic range. But we do have an incredible resources and information that, we look at daily that can help predict, when something may be on the horizon. But right now, all the anticipation is prices will continue to rise next year, as inventory levels, only getting lower, especially here in Metro Phoenix. So thank you for watching my video today. If you have any questions about the real estate market or what's happening with your specific neighborhood, I would love to chat more. As always, you can reach me, Ryan, at 480-227-1527 or on my email, ryannageraz@gmail.com. So thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.